Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my monologues. Thank you also to all those lovely people who watched the video that we put out recently where Julia and I went down to Devon to Westland Farm to explore the world of ewes and lambing. We had such a lovely time, as you can imagine, and I think from those of you who saw the video could see how much we enjoyed the experience. And actually, if any other farmers out there have interesting stories to tell or a process that they do which they think they'd like to share with people, Julia and I would be thrilled to come along and do a similar report showing the quality and the holistic and the calm, relaxed nature of traditional farming. Not so much worried about the big boys doing large things with huge swathes of land, putting chemicals and bits and pieces on the land, which goes to the processing plants and all of that. Not interested in monoculture, more the traditional types of farming. So if there's any farmers out there, if you're able to maybe put us up or let us camp on your land while we film, that would be fantastic. Anyway, just to remind you, that video is out there, and I appreciate everybody who has enjoyed that. And thanks to everybody, of course, who's helped make it possible by donating. These are the sort of stories that we would like to do more of. And I appreciate all the donations that come in. Anyway, onwards and upwards. There is a success story today, and I'm very thrilled to be able to bring it to you. Now, you may remember this probably about 6 months ago, maybe less, I can't remember exactly, but one of my correspondents got in touch and said, Richard, there is an application for a mega farm in Norfolk, and they want to have loads of pigs, thousands of pigs and thousands of chickens in great big huts for a meat company, meat processing company. And this is going to mean that a lot of animals will suffer. They'll be in tight, enclosed in pens, and it will be awful. And of course, when you've got that kind of quantity of animals, it's very difficult to do that unless you do have them in these big pens. And of course, they are going to suffer. And that's where the video that we've done recently just shows that there is an alternative. You don't need big farms, but we could have many more smaller farms in which animals are looked after with care and affection. And like they were traditionally, we didn't have these mega farms in the past. Anyway, the good news is that this application for this mega farm has been denied. Apparently, something like 15,000 people got in touch with the council through various things, letters and signatures and what have you, and said, we don't want this. We don't want something like, I think it was something like that, 14,000 pigs were going to suffer and 870,000 chickens were going to be involved at any one time in this mega farm. So this is brilliant news, and we should shout from the rafters the success of these sort of things, because very often we're given a lot of bad news and we hear about this and we hear about that and we go, oh God, there's nothing we can do. But it's great to be able to give the success stories when we push back against these big, large corporations. And it would be nice, would it not, to see more smaller farms, more farmers on there who love what they do, rather than seeing this sort of conveyor belt type of farming in which animals suffer. And that's not good for anyone. So I'm very thrilled to see that, and thank you very much to my correspondent who got in touch and let us know. We should rejoice on all those things. Now, whilst I'm here, my audience are very generous and they often send me things, and I want to say thank you very much for that. A couple of books have been sent to me that you might be interested in, and I thought I'd just share them. This is the first one. It's called Frequency Healing by Michael Upstone. Now, I don't know whether Michael wants to come on the show and talk about that frequency healing. We often hear about this alternative to traditional, well, I call it traditional. I mean, the more modern chemical healing, that the petrochemicals from the big pharmaceuticals and all of that sort of stuff. This is something a bit more natural, using our vibrations and our healing. And you may have heard of Rife machines and things like that, Spooky 2 and those sort of things. These are all different modalities that you can use to heal yourself. And these apparently, it says on the back here, frequencies are being used to help sports, business people, creativity, weight loss, increased energy, regeneration, rejuvenation, even facelifts. And it goes on, stress, autism, traumas, chronic diseases. So anyway, this is a book. I'll leave a link if I can find one online to where it is, and you might be interested in that. I thought I'd share that with you. And another book from an interviewee that I've already interviewed, I think, a couple of years ago now, Ben Hawkes and Michael Dowling Fleet. This is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Great Awakening. And this is a sort of a book which I suppose is a bit like an encyclopedia. If you're interested in various aspects of it, you can go in. We often talk about, for example, the council tax. And it says here, council tax, a protection payment paid to a local council in the United Kingdom in return for which refuse is collected and fires are extinguished. Council tax revenues are jealously guarded via a dark and inhumane system of courts and debt collectors. There's no legal or lawful obligation to pay council tax, it says here, though in practice this is rarely understood by the common man and absolutely never mentioned by the overlords. So this is, it's a sort of a wry look, if you like, at some of the various things that we have to engage with. But it's it's interesting, and you can take from it what you want. It's, as he says at the beginning of the book, it is for entertainment only. Talks about anarchy here. The popular definition of anarchy is a system of governance which has no rules and as such descends into chaos. The true definition of anarchy is a system of governance which does have rules but doesn't have rulers. Individuals create alliances, groups and working parties for the satisfaction of certain needs and generally stay out of the business of oppression and top-down control. In short, heaven on earth. And I do tend to agree with that myself, but you may disagree. Anyway, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Great Awakening. If you've written a book, if you think that it's worthy of showing and sharing on the channel, you want to come and talk about it, I'd be more than happy to do that. I enjoy reading books. Do get in touch, and I'm sure we can promote it as best we can if it's of use to the audience. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will catch up with you soon. Until next time, take care, look after yourselves, keep smiling, and think of the successes. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Till next time, goodbye.